cloud. All right, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome. So glad to have everyone join us here today. My name is Shahid Rahman. I'm the executive director of Move. And for those of you not familiar with our business chamber, we focus on informing, connecting, and advocating for our members. We have over 100 members thus far, and we're on schedule to have about 40 events this year, get 3,000 people through the door. We're really focused on improving business outcomes and connecting our community to more opportunities. Today, in line with that thought process, we're very excited to discuss LinkedIn. It's a professional, indispensable tool in the modern professional landscape. In today's digital age, your online presence is just as important as your resume, and LinkedIn is the platform where professional stories come to life. With over 900 million members across 200 countries, LinkedIn has revolutionized the way we work and network. So why is it so important? First and foremost, LinkedIn is your professional brand online. It's the first place potential employers, recruiters, and even clients will go learn more about you. But it's more than an online resume. It's a powerful networking tool. By connecting colleagues, industry leaders, and like-minded professionals, you can expand your network and open doors to new opportunities and stay updated with the latest industry trends. Now, how can you use LinkedIn to improve your career? We're going to hear from Mehmet Saçlamaz. He is an active LinkedIn user with more than 14,000 followers and an owner of and manager of many groups. I've known Mehmet for more than 10 years, probably since he was in New York and I was in New Jersey. It's been quite a while. He is actually active in our Move Dallas chapter, and he's a global account manager for Esri, a leading geospatial software company. He's Esri's architecture, engineering, construction, and environmental consulting sector team, and based in Dallas, Texas. He works with the global engineering and environmental firms. He has over 25 years of diverse experience in environmental science and engineering, GIS, business development, and sales. His educational background includes an MS degree in environmental technology and an MS degree in management with concentration in management and technology. So Mehmet, I'm going to hand it over to you, but just a quick couple of housekeeping rules. Feel free to submit your questions via chat. I'll go ahead and curate some of those questions. We've pre-selected 3 LinkedIn profiles that Mehmet will be discussing what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. And this is going to be recorded. So Mehmet, let me unmute you. You should be good to go.
All right, thank you for the introduction, Shahid, and thank you for all for attending this event. Thank you, Move Business Chamber, for inviting me to speak today. In this meeting, it doesn't mean that you'll be an expert on LinkedIn, but we will talk about certain aspects of using LinkedIn for your professional career and some of my experiences, how I used it in my career. As you can see on the agenda, I will be briefly talking about my background, the idea of strength of weak ties, why do you need a LinkedIn profile, optimizing your LinkedIn profile, some of the best practices, social selling index, if you have heard of that, LinkedIn premium account, social media management tools, and at the end, we will also look at 3 people's profiles. So hopefully you'll enjoy the session here. And if you have questions, and you can use the chat for questions, we will try to get back to them at the end. So let me start my presentation. This is my profile on LinkedIn. If you have a chance to look at it, you can take a look and see my profile. And as Shahid explained, I have a diverse background. So I change careers, roles, and different positions. And I use LinkedIn a lot for my career background. And different degrees, bachelor's and master's, and specialization and certifications. And also the roles I had, about 6 different roles, and sometimes you can consider them as different careers. So you can have transition, can switch from careers, but LinkedIn is very helpful for that purpose as well. So you can read more about that. And I just got this email from LinkedIn saying congratulating me on 15 years with LinkedIn. So I just wanted to put it up there. So I think it helped me a lot for my career. Along the way, I learned a lot from others, and I learned from others, and I also connected with so many good people professionally, and it helped me switch careers as well. And we'll be talking about that in a moment. So just a quick reminder, what is different between LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook? Now it's X, Twitter, and Facebook and Instagram. So think of it as LinkedIn as a professional trade show, Twitter X as a cocktail party, and Facebook is a dinner party, and Instagram as a digital art gallery. So they each have some use, some features. What is it useful for what? But mainly LinkedIn is for professional life, professional networking, connecting, showcasing, building trust, connecting with people. The others have different purposes. And I read that book, Tipping Point, from Malcolm Gladwell. If you haven't read it, I really recommend it. It talks about how little things can make a big difference. And from that book, I took a quote saying, when it comes to finding out new information, weak ties are more important than strong ties. That's a quote from the book. Because it says like your friends, your network, your people, usually they're the similar people, they know similar things most of the time. How much would they know more than what you know? So that means the people beyond your immediate network, immediate circle, will know more about different things. And then the social power of that is important. The more acquaintances you have, the more powerful you are. So that means your secondary and tertiary network can help you more in your career than your first circle, a close circle. I love that, and I think it implies the networking, connecting beyond your first degree and first circle. Why do you need a LinkedIn profile? Most of the people working professionally and most of the business people, they do have a LinkedIn profile. So some of the reasons I listed here, it's not including all, but one is establishing your professional online presence and amplifying your brand. A lot of people like myself, we look up LinkedIn if we met someone to see what they do and their business, their professional, their background, their education. So it's an online place and professional online place. And with LinkedIn, you can build your professional network. And you can engage in professional discussions, knowledge sharing. You learn from others. So I don't know if you heard about learning 70, 20, and 10 rule. 70% of learning happens at work when you do things, gaining experience. 20% you learn from others, colleagues, mentors, and 10% formal training. So when you look at that 20% learning from others, I include connections on LinkedIn too. You can learn from your colleagues, your managers, your mentors, but also you can learn from others in your network. And you can improve yourself. You can build credibility and trust. You can share what you've done and learn what you want to do, and then you can build credibility and trust. And you can show your skills, experience, and accomplishments. If you completed a degree, if you completed a program, education, training, competition, finished a great project, you can show that you have these skills and experiences, and you can let your network know. And you can search companies and learn the industry insights. So you apply for jobs, and you need to know about the company. When you follow a company, you know what they do and what they're passionate about. So, and you may be connected to people working for that company. So it's a great tool to learn about companies, organizations. And also, it enhances your visibility to recruiters and hiring managers. If you're looking for a job or if you're interested in transitioning or switching roles, you can use LinkedIn. You can say open to work. You can also be available to recruiters. There's some features that recruiters can see that you're available without you saying you're open to work. And lastly, you can look for new opportunities, jobs. You can switch careers and industries using LinkedIn. You can learn from the others how to switch a career or an industry, and you can get some support from your network. And these are some of the reasons I listed why you need a good LinkedIn profile. So having a LinkedIn profile is great, but at the same time, you got to have a good profile. And how do you optimize it? First of all, you got to have a professional profile and a background photo. So I think a photo is important. Some background image and a summary is important. The headline, relevant keywords, and about section, those are important things. When people look at your profile, they should be able to see, okay, this person is doing this. This is his, her expertise. So headline, keywords, and about section should be written well. And up-to-date information, like you should have your latest job information, the company, your education and experience. It should be up-to-date. It shouldn't be from 20 years ago. And you got to have your skills listed, endorsements, recommendations. Those are the things are plus things for your profile. So including those will help you. And you should be connecting with your colleagues, industry peers, mentors, people that you met or connected in the past, or also you want to connect. You attend a conference, you connect people, and you add them on LinkedIn and go with that. And there's also the identity verification. They started this new, so they scan your ID and make sure you are the person who you say you are. So that's something new they added lately. So these are the few things that you can use for optimizing your LinkedIn profile. Some of the best practices I listed. So first, when you have a profile, you will connect with a lot of people. You can connect with your colleagues, your classmates, your clients, customers, industry peers, and mentors. So connect with people and build your network. But you can go beyond your immediate network. So close friends and family, you can go beyond that. So you can add more people there. Connecting with more will bring you more opportunities and you'll learn more from others. And one thing I recommend is when you send a connection request, don't just send it like click send a request. So I want to connect with you. Why? Why do you want to connect with me? You need to personalize your connection invitation. Add a note. So say that, hey, it was nice to meet you at this conference. I would be glad to connect with you on LinkedIn. So this friend recommended you to connect. Or we're in the same industry. We're doing similar things. We have so many things in common. We have shared context. Something relates to that person so that they accept you. Sometimes I get requests to connect out of a blue saying, hey, I want to connect with you. Who are you? No information, nothing. So I decline. So personalizing the connection invitation is great. And then one of the best practices is share valuable content and engage with the connections. It's not just about you, yourself, what you do. It's also about others, what they do. Let's say somebody graduated, somebody finished something, somebody changed jobs, congratulate and write a comment. And if it is something technical, if you know about it, write something in the comment. Engage with your network. It's not when you need a job or if you're looking for a job, you connect with them. Hey, do you have a job at your company? It doesn't work that way. You should be able to connect and engage throughout the years. And then when you need to find a job, then you also ask at that time too. And personalizing messages, endorsements, and recommendations go a long way. So these are great things. I mean, you don't rely on LinkedIn general messages. Try to personalize those. And give and grow. So the happiest people in the world are givers. So when you give more, you grow more too. You learn from the others, you help them grow, and at the end, you can grow too. But we wouldn't expect to grow first and give. So typically you give, help others, and then grow. That's the mentality. And leveraging learning opportunities for skill development. So maybe one of the connections you have posted, hey, this is a new course, I loved it, I attended, I finished, I recommend. That's an opportunity for you to learn that, maybe sign up for that course and attend a class, attend a certificate. So you see those opportunities on LinkedIn a lot. Your network most likely will tell you or recommend you some courses. Maybe you will recommend to others. And following influencers in the industry is important too. So there are certain people in every industry, maybe many people, as influencers. So following them, you learn and get up-to-date information about the industry, about the technology, about the field you're in. So following them, even though you're not connected with them, you're following them, learning from what they say, and then maybe engaging there about their posts. And also finding the best time to post and post constantly is important. So if you're in the US and if you're posting at night, 11 p.m., you most likely few people will see it. So, but in the morning, if you're posting, more people will see it. Finding the best time to post it and post regularly will help. And the real power of social media is not about going viral. It's about connecting the right people at the right time. So that means you can have fewer people, but have the right connections. You will have a bigger impact on your career, on their career. You can make a difference. Connecting with the right people at the right time is more important than having more connections, not engage with them at all. The quality of engagement that matters, not the quantity. Instead of having 10,000 connections, better have 1,000 connection that matters. Quality engagement. And that helps. And I wrote it here, the mission of LinkedIn is simple: connect the world's professionals to make them more productive and successful. This is the mission of LinkedIn they have. So they want to connect professionals. They want professionals to be productive and successful. That's why we're having LinkedIn profile and we're engaging on LinkedIn. We're connecting, we're networking, we're sharing on LinkedIn. And sometimes you don't know what to post about, right? So it's typical. I have this image with graphics. And so I think the lower part here is define content pillars and define content goals. So you need to decide what is your expertise. This is my expertise. Who is your audience? Either you're selling something or you're connecting your professional IT and engineering. And who's your audience? And what do you sell or what do you promote? Are you promoting a technology? Are you into management and sales? So these are the 3 questions you ask. And when you answer these and you have an idea, okay, this is what I do, this is my audience, this is what I sell or what I promote. And then you put together some content. So what do I share? So I can share about growth, resonate, captivate, relate with your audience. So something you share should be relevant to your audience. And you can showcase your expertise. You can also showcase and show some solutions to problems for sales purposes. So identifying your audience and identifying your expertise, and then you determine what you want to share. So some examples from my shares. So I attended a conference a while ago in May in Minneapolis, and I presented there. I networked with people. I exhibited, attended a tour, a boat tour, and great time. So sharing about this experience, about this conference with others. I attended this, I loved it. This is great. Sharing that helps. That's an example. So another example, one of my customers visited our headquarters in Redlands, California. So I'm just saying it was great to have you all together with my president, with my company president. And they already shared, I'm resharing and showing my appreciation. And also, I completed a certification in strategy from Harvard Business School. I'm just sharing what I learned. Prior to that, I shared what I learned from each class, the summary, and I also summarized this. So sharing your expertise, what you learned, is helpful. At the same time, yes, please.
Can I just jump in? The first question that immediately comes to mind is, what about folks who are a little bit light on experience and expertise? For example, you have a lot of young folks that have just graduated college or are about to. What does that look like?
Yes, so great, good question, thank you. Some of the things I share is not my experience. I just came to that actually. 5 things high-performing teams do differently. So I haven't written this, somebody did. I say, hey, and somebody wrote about this, I love it. So these are the 5 things you can do. So I don't only share what I produce or what I see from my experience, I also share content from others. Could be your colleague that you work with, or somebody from the industry, somebody you learned like about management, productivity, strategy. So you share those things and you say, hey, I love this. I read this and it's helpful. Somebody in your company did something great and wrote a blog article for a magazine, you just highlight that success story. So it's not just about you being successful, it's about helping others be successful and highlight it. So you don't have to create content yourself. You can see content from others and share it appropriately. So these things help, like somebody getting an award. So my customer, I say, hey, you're getting an award, congratulations on your award. You're making a difference. So highlighting your friends, your colleagues, your customer success story is where LinkedIn is used a lot too. And I'm using LinkedIn groups heavily. Every group I'm in, so I'm trying to be active, not all of them, but some of them, like I'm the owner, I started that group with few people. Sometimes I'm a manager. So I think LinkedIn groups are important to learn from the others. These are specific topic groups. In my case, GIS, geospatial technology, is important. So engineering and environmental is important. So those are my topics. So I belong to certain groups and I do share in those groups, and I also watch and see what they're sharing. So learning from the others, being a member of a group that you're passionate about and you have expertise, your industry is helpful. And I think LinkedIn allows you to have up to 50 groups. So no more than 50, but you can select your memberships appropriately and connect. It's easier to connect people and find mentors, find connections on groups than the other places. And when you send a request, and you can just say, hey, I saw your name on this group and we're in the same industry, we share a lot, and I want to connect with you. Personalized message will help. And I don't know if you heard about Social Selling Index. It measures 4 social selling activities. So I put the link here, linkedin.com, sales SSI. You can go there and check your social selling index. Where are you at? I'm in the top 1%. And it also tells you social selling index, like what you're at. So 4 different areas, 4 components: establish your professional brand, find the right people, engage with insights, build relationships. All have some percentages. And it tells you people in your industry, people in your network. And it goes into 4 categories. It evaluates you on these and gives you a score on these. And then you can see where you're at, your percentages on the social selling index. So I recommend that you check on this for yourself. And as I said here, it's on the top, linkedin.com, sales/SSI. So you can just check that and you can find your SSI rank. And these are the 4 criterias it's being used for the index. Okay, so another thing I want to mention is LinkedIn Premium. So as in the other platforms, there's the free version of LinkedIn that most of the people use. There's a premium version that you pay and you do more. And for people in sales and business development, we have the Sales Navigator. There's another version for recruiters. There's the job seekers and different flavors. So with this, I'm using Sales Navigator premium account. You can prioritize accounts, identify the companies you're targeting, do some advanced account search, and discover insights about the companies, about the people. You see, it highlights about the people you're following and the companies you're following. It gives you more insights, and it gives you warm introductions. So that means you can use LinkedIn Sales Navigator Premium in mail. So instead of regular mail LinkedIn messages that you can send to your first degree connections, this premium account allows you to send a message to your second degree and third degree connections. So you can reach out to more people. And I use this a lot to find past customers, past colleagues, and classmates. So in the regular LinkedIn account, you cannot see all those details, but you can do a search. You can just say, from my second degree network, who are in this group. So bring me those people. You just screen and search those people. And you can look at key signals, job changes, company updates. Certain people change jobs, and you see it on LinkedIn, but sometimes you don't. And companies acquired, mergers happen. So you see those updates here, and it is really a great tool for me to use. And for those who are in business development and sales, I recommend using Sales Navigator and get some insight about the companies, about the people. And these are the additional searches that are available. Let's say on regular LinkedIn, you cannot search at a seniority. Let's say I want to see who are the vice presidents, C-level executives of a company. I have a filter there, seniority level. I go there and select and screen. I can search by company size. I want to target 10,000 plus employees, company size. Revenue, I can select industry. So all those things I can search and do a bit more work, and it helps me a lot with my work. And briefly, I want to talk about the social media management tools. And social media management has been an important topic for a lot of companies, and there are some tools available to help you with your social media management. Unless you're in a social media team or a marketing team, you may not need a lot, but many companies, they provide it. We use, for my company, we use Hootsuite Amplify. It's one of the good tools, and instead of we trying to create a content is there. We just share it and schedule it and manage it, and we see who are engaging with our content. These are very helpful tools. And earlier, somebody asked about how we can share if you don't have experience. If you work for a company, they have content somewhere. It could be on a social media management tool like Hootsuite Amplify, or on the company website. You can just share that in your profile, and it will help. These things make life easier. Let's say if you're traveling, you can schedule your posts once a day or once every 2 days. So, and when you're gone, you can still post if you're not available. Okay, so coming back to this part, a little bit personal, how LinkedIn helped me. So you saw my profile. I changed jobs, careers, got different education degrees, and I learned about the industry, technology, and sales trends. So I use LinkedIn a lot, helped me a lot in learning what's going on in the industry I'm working on, the technology, what's happening in sales. So I'm doing those, like I'm working for an industry, I'm selling a technology, and I'm in business development. So I'm using that and learning what's going on from LinkedIn. It helped me transition from one career to the other, career advice support. So I can give you an example. I was thinking about doing my second master's, and I had two options. One is to do another technical master's, and or management masters. I selected 10 people from my connections and asked them, okay, this is my profile. What do you recommend I do for my next degree, for my master's degree? Majority said go for management degree. I did, and I've been happy about it. So it helped me in those milestones, times that I need help. So it's one example. And if you're transitioning, switching from one career to the other, you need to learn more about the new career you're moving into. So you need to talk to people, learn about the tricks, learn about how to get into the field, and then be successful. So I connect with a lot of people from my customers and industry. So, you know, in the past, we used to collect business cards. I still do when I attend a conference, but are they useful? How do I search who I met and who has what experience and expertise and where they're located? So it's difficult. With LinkedIn, after I come back from a meeting or a conference, I add them on LinkedIn, be connected, and learn about what they do, and maybe they see my posts and they learn about from what I do too. And in the past, I organized conferences, webinars, meetups, and groups. Let's say I want to organize a webinar on artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning. So I go to LinkedIn and say, AI, machine learning, who are my connections? And review the people and select a few candidates for my webinar. So, and meet with them and invite them to my webinar. So I use it for these purposes too. And when I visit some people, when I actually travel and visit a customer, visit a location, I checked on LinkedIn who is in my network, live in that area that I should be connecting, I should be meeting in person. So I use that occasion and visit people, meet with people in that city when I'm visiting for a conference or a customer visit. I use that chance so that I network and learn from others. They learn from me if there's something I can share. One other thing I use LinkedIn, I use heavily, is showcase my work and accomplishments. And this is where like you do a lot at your work. Sometimes like not everybody in your company or in your network may see it. So you can share what you do, your work, like completed a project, completed an education certificate, accomplishments, got an award. So you share those things on LinkedIn and people see it. Maybe they'll sit and say, you know what, you've done this. How about we have this opportunity for you? It might come to your way. If they don't know, it wouldn't come. So that's why it's important to showcase what you do and your accomplishments. And in cases, I helped others find jobs, education, training, and mentorship. So as we said, giving and growing. So if there's an opportunity that you know that somebody can take and pursue, you can use that opportunity. You can say, hey, there's a job that I see. It seems like you're a good match. You can maybe apply and get the job. There's education, like the doctoral education, master's degree education, or certificate education you can recommend, and there's mentorship opportunities you can recommend. All right, I think before we go into the profile reviews, are there any questions, Shahid, that we can answer? So then we can look into the profiles later.
So yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I have a quick question on one of the earlier slides, and that's this idea of weaker ties. So what strategy, I mean, have you employed to build on that? If the key to growing your network is weaker ties, then how do you build on that?
Good question. So weaker ties will help you more in your career in the long term than the strong ties. Strong ties, you have like 100 people. Weaker ties, you have 3,000 people. Your secondary, tertiary network. But it doesn't mean that you leave them weak all the time. You will grow and make them stronger. So let's say you have a weak tie in a different city and you visit that city and you identify, you know what, these 3 people, these are my weak ties. Let me meet with them, connect, learn more, and they become stronger. Like, don't leave them as weak ties. So you try to make them stronger, strong weak ties, than weak ties, and engage with them on LinkedIn. So that means you will, let's say if they share something, and if you want to comment, you write a comment. If they change jobs, you say congratulations. You compliment them. And if you want to support them, if they're looking for a job, you can support if you know that there's a job available. So you make your connection stronger, and then you engage more, and you learn from them, and they learn from you.
So I think this is very relevant to a question that's been asked, which is, this seems like an activity for folks who are very extroverted, just keep connecting with folks and
Yeah.
asking them how they're doing and what's going on in their life. How do we deal with this as introverts? It seems like this is really tough.
You know, it is tough, but it's a lot easier on in internet and social media than in person. So even if you're an introvert, so writing something is easier than speaking, right? So I think it will be easier, but you can make it a habit of asking questions, connecting, and engaging with people. So it doesn't take a lot of time. If you somebody changing jobs or starting a new job or graduating, say congratulations, best of luck, this. And then if they post something technical and you know about it, and you just write a comment. It doesn't take a lot of effort. And even if you're introvert, you know your subject, you know your expertise, and you just write about it. So I think by practice, we will overcome that.
Okay, that's true. And so the other quick question I have is, I'm noticing that you're spending a lot of time on LinkedIn to build this followership. So, I mean, how much time are you allocating, on a daily basis? It seems like you're responding to everyone. How much time should we allocate on a daily basis, or is this a weekly endeavor?
Great question. So when you say you spend a lot of time, it's been 15 years. So it didn't come to this point. I'm not spending hours and hours every day to build it because it's been 15 years now. So I'm tracking what I had as connections and followers. So after a certain number, it grows faster. So when you're posting regularly and engaging with people, your connections and followers increase faster. So it's been easier when I passed the 10,000 level than when I had 3,000 people following me. So it depends. Because it's part of my work, maybe I'm spending a little bit more time than average because I'm connecting with people, because those are my customers, industry people that I need to meet. And I attend conferences, I meet 50 people at a conference, and I exchange business cards and I connect. So that happens. But when I look at, we will review profiles, but when I look at profiles with 29, 30 people in the network and under 100, or so how long you've been in the industry? 10 plus years, like just 30 people, not enough. So I think if you don't have a sales role or a technology role that you need to share as part of your job, and it's on our phones, right? So it's there. You don't have to check everything. You check like your messages, somebody tag you, or like you post something. Let's say somebody is just using regularly, posting once or twice a week on a topic. It could be multiple topics. That means you're just spending 10, 20 minutes a week. And then you're just checking your messages. It can be on your phone. It doesn't have to be on the computer. And then you're just replying to messages. And you're just checking groups once in a while to see what's going on. I think within an hour or two, you can be up to date with what's going on. If you're not a heavy user. If you're a heavy user, you may spend every day a little bit of time, 15, 20 minutes, and then that becomes a couple hours a week. Any other questions, or should we look into the profiles?
So just quickly, Mehmet, how much time should we give for the profile review, just so I can get a couple of more questions in potentially?
Why don't we do the reviews quick? Then,
okay.
And after that, when we have time, we can just answer more questions. So I think I'll be quick. I'll just share
Okay.
a couple. So thank you for those 3 volunteering to be reviewed. Okay, let me see. Let me check. Where it is.
It looks like slide 20.
Yes, okay, so next slides, let me put it up here. So I'm just opening up the LinkedIn profiles. Second. Okay, the Zoom is blocking maybe. Okay, so you see my screen, right? Okay, the first one is Jason. Now, do you see my screen?
Yes, we see your screen.
The LinkedIn page or the slide?
I think it's the LinkedIn page. This looks like a LinkedIn page.
Okay,
LinkedIn,
so this is the LinkedIn page, right? Moving up and down.
Yep, yep.
Okay, that's good. So this is our first review, Jason Lau. Profile, good. Smiling photo. You always need a smiling photo. And DMV rentals, and the email address, just checking. I'm just looking at it as if it's the first time I looked at once. And Move Chamber membership director, founder of DMV rentals. Let's go down. 272 connections. Somebody being a membership director of an organization and a founder of a company should have more than 500 connections. So I think it's growing. It looks like it's growing its network, but he's growing his network. But you can have more connections than 272. So just checking about. And to me, it's too long. I wouldn't go into detail as like before graduating high school, I want to do this. Like you could write those in your resume or like other statements, cover letters, but I would summarize this more so that when people look at it, they read it instead of like a full page. It could be shorter. It could be either bullets or a paragraph so that people look at it and read it easily. And looking at activities, the posts, it's about our program, our event. And let's go into a bit deep posts about what was shared. And a couple of days ago, regular shares, which is good, once a week at least, not bad. And also, let's look at the experience. And I would add a bullet or 2 about what you do. Membership director, I do these things. Owner, what do you do? I do these things. So instead of just listing, it's not a resume, full resume, but you can list what you do, like a few bullets. That would help so that people know, okay, this is what you do. And I don't see education here. I don't see education. I do see skills, only 3 skills. Is that it? There should be more. So sorry about the criticizing, but I'm just looking at what I see. And you can have more skills and people can endorse you. And interests are there, and the groups, two groups there. So yeah, few comments about that. Let's move to the second profile review. Khalid El Hajbeh, managing partner, SRG Commercial. And also, I don't know if you see the profile, you can have your name as your URL. So make sure you get that. So see Jason Lau. So that's, you can request and get it if somebody didn't get it already. You can request that. So it's good, he has it. And good profile photo, smiling, professional. And a line about himself, what he does, okay. 496 followers, connections. Experienced board member, okay, at least a line here explaining. And commercial broker, managing partner. What do you do? It's a little bit longer, but maybe it can be a little shorter for LinkedIn. And the other experience below, education, licenses, skills, languages. Yeah, if you have languages listed there, I don't know if Jason has a language other than English, but if you have a second, third language, you can leave it there. In companies you follow, and groups you follow. Let's see, managing partner. Yeah, I think having if you're managing partner of a company and a board member can have more than 493, over 1,000 connections. Yeah, I think this seems better than the first one, but can be improved on this part. Like, what do you do, and maybe shorten a little bit and add more connections from the industry and different network. Okay, moving to the third one, Maurice Shane. Like a little bit different. See the backgrounds, the top. This seems like Khalid used like the logo of the company, but Maurice here is writing what he's doing here, like as if it's like a marketing campaign. And we assist foreign nationals who want to obtain E2 investor visas, give us a call. So that's what you do. It's more, I would say it's more salesy on this profile, especially here. Call us this, we do this, if you need help here. Like I would not go into that much of a detail. I would leave it to the website and maybe below. I think in this one you want to look, the profile looks professional information, but I wouldn't go as salesy in the profile. And about this, for nationals who want to play. Okay, so you do E2 visa for investors, I assume for all nationals, but you say one country. So that is limiting you. It's a small country, so it can limit your ability to reach out to more people. When people look at it, oh, you're only helping Grenadian citizens, so you don't want to limit yourself. So I think you can change a little bit here, this part. And I also noticed your name, Maurice, and you're missing an R in your URL. Maybe it was not available, but it's Maurice instead of Maurice. You're missing an R in the URL. So maybe somebody else took it, but it might confuse people. And activity, you have 1,100 connections, which is not bad. And you have connections, and you're engaged. The only thing I noticed is your last post was 2 years ago. So you're not engaging, you're not posting much. Last time you posted was 2 years ago. So in a year before, and you're posting once a year, it looks like. So good practice is posting regularly. If you can, that would be better. And let's see, your experience. Principal senior consultant. When I look at this, I typically expect a link to the company LinkedIn page. So when I click it, it doesn't go anywhere. Maybe it doesn't exist. But if you have it, you better put it there. So when I click it, it goes to Shane Capital Investments. If there's a LinkedIn page for a company, it should be there when I click it. I think the others had it. See the move here, and also same thing, SRG commercial. So if there's a LinkedIn page, I would link it so it drives people to your company page. Similar to here. See, you have SRG commercial in two places. One has a logo and the company, the other one does not. So it seems like it's the same company, but you forgot to include link to your company. And continuing here, the education is there, even though it doesn't say a degree, what you have, some skills included, no, not enough endorsements, maybe the other profiles too. It'd be good to have more endorsements for your skills. And you can also give recommendations and receive recommendations. So in this area, it's weak, skills and endorsements. So 4 endorsements, 3. So if you can have more people endorsing you on what you do, it's helpful. Yeah, I think this is okay, but I would summarize a bit more with a few words, not like a multiple lines and columns, I would say. Okay, these are it for the reviews. Thank you for volunteering on this. Any other questions? We have 8 minutes left.
Yes, Mehmet. So the one question that came in was, how would you deal with your accomplishments, especially if you are tied to an NDA? That's a non-disclosure agreement.
Yes. So it's not easy. And if your customer, your client does not allow you to share it, you cannot. Maybe I'm thinking if you still need to get approval, you can say, instead of saying the name of the company, project, or where, maybe you can say you use a technology this way on a project without mentioning the company name or project name. You just say you used the GIS, geospatial technology, for a transportation project, for a water project, for an environmental project, and got an award, or it was highly highly valued, something like that, without mentioning the name of the company or organization or a project. So you still need to get approval to say that. You can share those experiences this way, like make it like anonymous, like general statement. And instead of the project, the customer or client, you make it like a technology. I use this technology on a project and I use it innovatively this way. I think that might help. Any other questions? Yeah.
I'll try to get one more in. So someone here had a LinkedIn account for a few years, but never really used it, and they're starting to become a little bit more active. So how far should they go back in their career to update that LinkedIn? So I'm guessing this has to do with either activity in those previous years or updating. Maybe they were out of the workforce. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, you can, if your target job or career or industry is different than what you've done, you can summarize your past experience shortly and then move on, or provide some people say like break for family reasons, or something, or education or something. But it's good to have your past experience. If you skip all those past experiences and start like fresh, so you may have less chance to find jobs or find opportunities. So you better close the gap, write what you have done, and write it maybe like a job, like a family break or something, so that you can get back to the work. And then I would highlight the skills, transferable skills that you have from your past experience, so that you can apply for new jobs and apply or transition to a new industry. I would use that for your purpose. And then it should help instead of leaving out your past. But I would connect with people that you know or you met in the past. And we shouldn't be using LinkedIn when we lost a job and looking for a job. We should be building our connections, engaging with people, and building trust. And then maybe instead of losing a job, maybe you will switch to another job. You will learn about a new position in a different company where you have a connection. They say, you know what, we have this position. Would you apply? You might apply and get a job. Maybe it's a good career move for you. All right. Anybody else, or
So just to reiterate, the emphasis should be on those skills and traits that are
Correct.
always transferable, irrespective of a job.
Yes, your education, your past experience could be there, but if you show your transferable skills, that would be very helpful.
Okay, I think the last question, will be really fast with this, is questions for. So are there any scams on LinkedIn that we need to be aware of? I get a whole bunch of
Yes.
random messages these days from someone trying to schedule a meeting. I have no idea who they are, and
yeah, I got that 2 days ago. I was going to use it as an example, and the person disappeared. So I get a message saying, "Hey, we might have a job opportunity, business opportunity, like consulting opportunity for you." I go check the LinkedIn profile, 0 connections, and no link to the company page. And there's a photo, but the rest is like missing. So I say, okay, this is a scam. So be aware of that. And we have 3 minutes. If anybody is interested in sharing their profile, we can review it one more profile if you have a volunteer.
It looks like we have a volunteer. We can do this really fast. It's in the chat.
Okay, it's in the chat.
Can you access the chat? Yeah.
Let me check. Okay.
And while he pulls that up, so this will be recorded and we'll share it on our YouTube.
Okay, so Khadija Athman from Virginia. Okay, so let's look at the profile. So be ready. So I'm going to criticize. So no background here. I mean, you can put something here about your passion, about what you do, can improve that instead of being blank. Profile photo, open to work, saying you're looking for work. And this is what you do. Connections, followers, open to work in HR. Okay, let's look at that. Your about section seems okay. Talks about your background and what you bring. Top skills featured in posts 2 weeks ago, 1 month ago. Let's look at posts quickly. And some photos from personal trip, some work related. And yeah, you seem to be posting every so often. Not as many like as I like to see. You posted 6 months ago, 4 months ago. So if you want to build trust and credibility on what you do, you can also post more. And let me go back. This is what you do, what you used to do. Human Resources Director. Yeah, I would maybe shorten this part. This is too long to me. It's not a resume. It's just, we can just shorten it so that it's like keywords. I've done this, instead of like a long, like a resume type. And the other one is here. Yeah, I think it's similar. I mean, I would shorten this a bit. And the other ones, yeah. See, these are a little bit longer and it can be shortened a bit. And your degree, all 9 education, training, all included here, which is good. And not to confuse, if there are things not relevant or helpful, you can remove them. But if these are helpful for your field, you can keep them. So that people read it quickly. And volunteering is good. So I have 3 skills. I would add, we have 60 skills, but not enough endorsements. I would request endorsements from your network so that you can have endorsements. Instead of just listing skills, you can have 4 skills endorsed. Publications listed, which is good. Companies and groups. Yeah, overall, it looks good. Maybe you can shorten a little bit certain sections. So when people look at your profile, they should be able to see, oh, this is what this person do. Okay,
Thank you so much, Mehmet. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Hope you all benefited from this experience. Let me quickly share my screen. We have quite a few events in the next month. Let me see if I can share the screen properly. Here you go. So for those of you who are members, we have a contracting a program we're doing next week on this. Actually, it's on Saturday on the 17th. And the folks in this panel have bids from anywhere from $2 million to $2 billion over their careers. And this is this is for members only. Next week, we have a series talking about how to finance your business. It's focused on women entrepreneurs. And then at the end of the month, we have a program on business networking at FinanceZoom, one of our executive members. I'm going to drop the events page on the tab right now before logging out. And for everybody's reference, this will be recorded. It will be on this on our website in the next couple of weeks, and hopefully you can share this with others if you've benefited. And here you go, dropping it in the chat. Thank you all for joining us. Mehmet, thank you again. Looking forward to what you guys do in Dallas.
all right, thank you for inviting me, and it was great. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.